Hip hop and 90s nostalgia was really out here carrying shit in the 90s. We was really watching this and really feeling like we were watching something special. And oh, this was good. Oh, this was so dope. Go back and watch that shit right now. Go back and watch it right now. It does not hit the same, but we still love it. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Ride. Now this movie is from 1998 and it stars Malik Yoba. Now before we get into all things nostalgic, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm gonna give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're gonna come back and discuss all things 90s. The 90s was slapping. Everything like 90s is all like the 90s threw up all over this movie, and it is trash for no goddamn reason. But we like the trash. We appreciate the trash. We miss the trash. The trash here does not equate to the trash that we get today. This trash actually slapped.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this video. But first, I have to give a shout out to the person who paid for and requested this movie. If you happen to get your whole life, and I know you will because we're talking about the 90s, it's not because of me, it's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for supporting me and paying for this content. Now, getting into the movie, this movie was directed and written by the same person, a Miss Millicent Shelton. I had never heard of her. I never really paid any attention to who directed or wrote this movie, but it happens to be a female, and she's not only in the industry, but she is a very prolific hip-hop music video director. She has been outside, and this is more so after watching the movie. This kind of feels like maybe her telling her story, maybe, you know, her moment to give her perspective as a female director and some of the things she maybe went through. But was it done in the best way? Probably not, but you know, kudos to you, girl. Now the movie starts off super 90s just because we decide to open with Let Me Ride. You know, Dr. Dre's The Chronic album, it was slapping. And we get even more 90s nostalgia because we have women auditioning to be in videos. You know, those women who were just waiting for an opportunity to be that next big video girl. Remember Corinne Steffens, Buffy the Body, Melissa Ford? They were outside. The video girls used to be everything. This is all about music videos and content and creating and when those things matter. We are a far cry from that, but those used to be the days when you could be that one video girl, like you saw that same chick in every single video. Now at the time, we didn't know what they had to do to be in the forefront of those videos, but that didn't matter. Corinne was in the front and she was popping, and it was fatty girl, fatty girl, fatty girl. It was real 90s. Now we start off here with Melissa de Sousa, aka Shelby, aka Lita here, and she is working for Miss Downtown Julie Brown. This movie was very, very MTV, very, very much so music video. Not only do we have the presence of a Downtown Julie Brown, but we have, you know, Ed Lover and Dr. Dre in the beginning. And she is not in the position yet to be a video director, so she is trying to assist and work her way up. But Miss Downtown Julie Brown is stuck up and is not with it. And the last thing she wants to do is help Freddie P with his music video, being that he is kind of our Diddy here, our rapper slash executive slash. He is on the come up. It's Freddie P, but it's Luke and it's boom, hey, Doodle Brown, say Doodle Brown. I wanna rock, I wanna rock, I wanna rock, I wanna rock. boom. Hey, as soon as you see Luke, you just think about strip clubs and dancers and ass by default. Now, he is, Mr. Popular, Mr. Everything, and fucking everything that moves. But for his music video, he needs a homegrown, homie, down to earth, I'm still good in the hood feel, wanting the music video director to make sure that his people that he cares about and loves so much that he promised all individual deals to get down to that video shoot on time, prompt, and ready to give that video some hood notoriety. Now, Miss Aletha is tasked with being a chaperone alone with Papa. Now, even though this movie is a comedy, it could have spoke truth to power and had a much more serious undertone, especially speaking to the time and even the times of today, to give certain things, whether it's, brands, clothing, music, anything to pop. We need that hood sensibility, that hood notoriety. If it's hot in the hood, everything is good. So we reach out and pull people with low incomes who don't know any better and use them for profit and send them right back to the hood. But when we meet our team, all of that goes out of the window because everybody here is funny as fuck. But you loved it. You have to remember that this is 1998, so everybody here was very prolific in the 90s. And we meet Malik Yoba, aka JC, aka New York Undercover. What y'all know about the New York Undercover and that special guest that used to come on at the end of every episode and sing in the nightclub? You don't know, this was not SVU. And we also have characters here, like, I remember watching this and we saw Laura Winslow here as Tuesday, and I was like, oh my God. You have to remember, this is 98. We had never seen Laura outside of anything that was Stephen Q. Urkel and Family Matters. It's very clean cut. So to get here and she's pregnant and hanging out and talking to Sticky Fingers, this was the 90s. Fucking Sticky Fingers is here as brother. Sticky Fingers was hot as fuck and had a whole cock eye and nobody cared. Nobody cared. You can't even do that no more. And of course, we have fucking his whole edition. You couldn't really see Sticky Fingers without seeing Fredro Starr. This was whole Onyx. Y'all remember Slam? B-boys make some noise and just slam. We had already seen them previously in Clockers. They came as like the little dynamic duo. Absolutely love them. Q was already hot on Moesha. This was a moment. We also have Laura's friend here, who is a homegirl around the way. We even have Guy Tori, who is closing the cast off. Guy Tori was out there in the 90s also. Him with his wacky self. He's giving some ebony and ivory ass energy with an additional white boy, and they're exchanging all these racist ass comments. Brother is even walking around with like a whole slavery-esque dog collar around his neck. Why? Just because it was the 90s and nobody cared. Now, the objective here is to get all of these underprivileged kids to Miami, and they are looking for Freddie P to give them their big break, when that couldn't be the furthest thing from Freddie P's mind. Freddie P wants to use them for their substance, their energy, and what they can bring to his music video, and really doesn't care. Doesn't care so much that he sends them the most raggedy, low down, funky ass bus that you could ever want to see in your life. Smoking like a freight train. And not only is it funky, but it is driven by Pops and fucking Cedric the Entertainer. Don't you just love how Pops, John Witherspoon, finessed his way through, the 80s and the 90s, just being Pops? Like, that's talent. When you can just walk around and just be the same fucking character every single movie. Oh, whole talent. Goddamn white shoes, bow tie and all. Pop, 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 sugar pop. Do the sugar pop. It was very much so giving. He stepped off the sets of the Wayne Brothers and just like, boom, I'm just here. I don't need no lines, no dialogue. I'm just gonna do bang, bang, bang. I'm just gonna do pop shit and y'all gonna rock with it. Now, we had to put a little friction in this ride along, courtesy of Geronimo and a Lady of Rage. Like, to go back here and completely be amazed at the fact that the only real thing that held up as far as content and comedy in this movie came from her. I was like, you better go, fucking Henrietta, aka Baby D. Why are you trying to hook me up with the little sister that's bigger than the big sister? Come on now, you know you ain't gonna catch me, Baby D. She was doing a really good job here. I always thought she was really cute with the afro puffs and her good stuff. She had like really good comedic timing. The acting was on point. She could have went far. Like if you go and watch Ride and just look at her performance throughout the entire film. She did a really good job. Now her sidekick, of course, was nothing to blink an eye at either. He was very funny here. Mr. D'Artagnan Edmonds, I vividly remember him from movies like Woo, movies like Trippin', Deliver Us from Eva, Don't Mind Us, We're Just Having Sex. Great comedic timing. The talent was here. Peaches and Bird were by far the best thing that this movie had to offer. Granted, at the time we did not know that, but as far as performance, acting, storyline, them jacking and robbing, the whole modern day ass Gross sisters in full effect, they were great here. Geronimo, being the knucklehead that he is, just happens to steal their money and they whole ass gap packing jackers just because he felt like it. Just absolutely done. Gets on the bus and it's no never mind to anybody. Mind you, they just had a whole shootout / bitch, you gonna give me I want my money. Nobody saw anything. Now, with Peaches and Bird on their tail, we are left with the characters on this bus. Now, of course, we have Lita being Lita. Melissa de Sousa is always going to be just fine, sexy, just doing her. She's, you know, she's not from the hood. She's not from the projects. I'm just trying to get these ruffians to the other side of Miami. But along the way, during the trip, she recognizes that there's, you know, really true talent here. You know, they can sing, they can dance, they can rap. They are much more than the projects in their upbringing. We should care. Then, of course, we have Papa JC with his whole agenda. He is all really just there for his Rite to Passage program. He wants Freddie B to fund that. We were down, we were homies. You're kind of getting lost, and you're kind of being stingy with your money, but I'm still here, I'm still riding, and not only am I protecting the kids on the bus, but I am protecting my brother, Geronimo. Now, everybody else on the goddamn bus, I feel like in the 90s, we always had to have that stereotypical as, you know, Latino. We have Charity here. Mina, mommy, I was just kidding. Stop touching me, ugly. You know, we have to have the intense, like, oh my god, little like Chichi Tuwang Fu as Latina. Like, it just has to be really busty. It was very much giving that young video vixen trying to have her come up in Hollywood and thinking that this is her moment like everybody else on the bus. Meanwhile, Freddie P just wanted you to come along because he wanted to smash. Girl, you are not as smart as you think you are. And of course, we do have Joe Torre there and the white boy, which I thought was an absolute complete waste of storyline. You have them there just all like, oh yeah, I'm going to find my father. You know I'm black. My father's Black Panther. First of all, you whiter than fucking white. Your father was not going to be any other color, but we go on this crusade with him to locate and find his father and identify the way so he can prove that he's black and he's not a white boy. Complete waste of movie. But the main thing that took me out the most here was that toxic ass relationship between Laura, Tuesday, and brother Sticky Fingers. That shit was horrible to watch. I was like, damn, I did not remember this being that bad. Now, of course, we do have that storyline of her, you know, being young, not really knowing her self-worth, taking value in a man who is just completely horrible. You know, he's a cheater, womanizer, but it was more than that. He was like really like fucking disrespectful, borderline abusive, really abrasive. It was just really tasteless. It was like, damn, I didn't remember him being all up in her face like that. But even though we have those really intense moments via Laura Winslow's character, I swear she spent like 75% of the movie crying in tears. We do have that lingering factor of her being pregnant and the pregnancy test. Like, girl, we know you was pregnant. You know that. You know you fucked them. You did it. Like, girl, you pregnant. Sit down. But she is really indecisive and, you know, learning how much she's really worth to herself and all these other good things. And she doesn't need a brother like brother. We undercut those more serious moments with, you know, them being on this funky ass bus, funking it up, very much giving soul playing. And we throw in John Witherspoon and Cedric the Entertainer, who I always thought was was a very underrated comedian. Like, Cedric the Entertainer slaps. You know, I used to be a dancer. You know, they used to cover me with peanut butter, and I was just standing and I was just working. Like, I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. Like, get your ass behind the line. Them in that raggedy ass bus with things falling off all along the way. It is very funny. Is it good? No. But it's funny. Now, we don't have a lot going on in between this film. There isn't a whole lot of substance here. This movie is called Ride. But we do have, you know, them dealing with the friction of being on this horrible bus. We do have a lot of banter and a little bit of flirting between Malik Yoba and Melissa's character. And we also have the bus continuing to be in bad condition and Geronimo continuing to conceal the fact that he stole that money and nobody's the wiser. He just has all this money in his goddamn pocket. But those are the best aspects of the movie, because those are the moments that we get to spend more time with Peaches and Bird. Like, why you move? Why you was scared? You was scared. I wasn't scared. I was gonna stand behind your big ass. Like, it's funny. Like, damn, Peaches, you got a dick. Like, what you looking at? You ain't never seen a woman stand up and pee before? Like, it is a whole hot mess. Then, of course, we have, you know, ratchet shit like, brother, you're so fine. Put your hands on my behind. I'm a real woman. Can't make me cry. Boom, let's go. Whoop ass. Like, just hot mess. I love how everybody was supposed to be, you know. Oh, these kids. It's like, we gotta find these kids. Where's Geronimo? I gotta look up for these kids. Meanwhile, they look grown as fuck in the face. 90s. Now, after many of rest stops, we end up with the bus breaking completely down so we can't go any farther. We are in this country bumpkin of a fucking town, leading us to a hole in the wall that is ran by nobody other than Snoop Dogg. Because we're in the 90s, everybody's having a good time. They try to like makeshift this forced friction with Geronimo and Malik Yoba and them trying to have this little fling thing with Melissa. I was like, Get that out of here. Who wrote that? Don't do that. Don't do that. But everybody's having a good time. It's always a good time to see Snoop Dogg and his element and him be lean as, you gonna rape me in front of my son? Ask Snoop Dogg. You know, we just love to see it. We love to see it. This is the piss poor excuse for story arcs and growth in the story. We have, you know, just trying to wreck Freddie B shit. We have goddamn Geronimo try to display some growth in his character because he's very, very selfish this entire movie. He pays to get the bus fixed so they can get all the way to Miami and live out their best dreams, hopes, and ambitions. And we also have Bird and Peaches finally get caught because they hit up the wrong officer in the wrong car in the wrong town. So now nobody's on their trail. They're free and clear to get to Miami. But when we get to Miami, if shit's still and low down and busted as this goddamn bus, it is raggedy ass hotel hole in the wall that you would ever want to see. We also have the kids. The old ass kids show that they're not as tough as they claim to be. They're all stuffed in Talita's room while she goes out and entertains Papa. You know, is it Papa now? Is it Big Papa? Can you guys keep a secret? Yep, so can I. Get your ass up. You have, you know, everybody's story coming to a close. Everybody, you know, reaches their peak to realize, you know, what we thought was going on here in Miami with this video shoot, with our careers. It's not really that. Freddie P really never had any care from our Rite to Passage program. He is all about the ass, all about fucking the next best things, which brings us back to Charity, who thought she was gonna go and spit her rhymes and sing her songs, and he went and put on a porno and said, rub my shoulders. Girl, get out of there. All the misogyny all up and through this film. Freddie B was very much giving, you know, cancel that bitch, I'll buy another one. I was like, damn, this is a comedy though, right? Like, Lord, it was terrible. But you have Freddie B come to the revelation that, you know, I am kind of losing touch. I have to look out for my homies. Let me make sure that all of you know that you need to complete this Rite to Passage program. I'm going to fund it. And not only are we going to do that, we went on this whole journey with White Boy going to see the Black Panther with the... Don't do that no more. We leave that where it's at. But at that moment, we have Letha have that revelation with downtown Julie Brown that, girl, you ain't all of that. And you can't be treating these kids like that. We can't go back on that same raggedy ass bus that we came in on. You have to take care of them. And just because she didn't, in that moment, the kids decided, I just can't get with the kids. They were old as fuck. They decided to stand up for her and be like, you know, and we ain't making shit shake in this music video until you give Letha her opportunity. You know, it's all that good stuff. And this finesses into her being an up-and-coming music director. We also have a moment with Laura Winslow cussing the shit out of Sticky Fingers. You know, you mean you ain't shit, your mama ain't shit, your babies ain't shit. Get the fuck out of my face. Get out of here. And I'm killing this baby. I love how casual they were about the abortion. Just like, yeah, I ain't bringing none of this shit into the world. Like, damn, this is a comedy. But we end off with her directing the music video. This is how we go on the weekend. Friday. This is how we roll. This is how we roll on the weekend. We got goddamn Redman. Oh, Keith Murray, the most beautifulest thing in this world. Just like that. I get in your mic check. I can get smooth to any group. I'm just maxing Janet Jackson. She's asking if I can slam it. Ow! Has nothing to do with nothing. Like, the closing was good. And of course, since this is the 90s, we have to close off with, you know, those words appear on the screen like, yeah, we don't have enough budget to show these things happening. So your brother ended up with LaToya Jackson. They went on to go platinum, this, that, and the third. Very surreal shit that would never happen any day. Herb and Bird are in the same cell. She bending him over every night. Just hot ass mess. And of course, the director, who was, you know, just wanted to direct music videos, she went on to direct a whole porno. Hot ass mess. But it's the 90s. We love it. We appreciate these things for what they are, even if the films aren't good. This was not good. This was not a good movie. Well, you guys, that was my review for Ride. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about this film. Drop down and try to defend it. Drop down and try to tell me this movie is good. You know it wasn't. You know it wasn't. But I look forward to reading you guys' comments. Thank you so much for requesting this video and paying for it. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.